The Donkey Kong Country series helped define the 16-bit generation. Those games were amazing with their 3D graphics and their soundtrack quality music, and let's not forget, the gameplay was also really good as well. So of course, Rare wanted to see if they could do the same on the old Game Boy, trying to take those 16-bit gems, try to enunciate that correctly, gems, and try to capture that magic on the old 8-bit system. Did they succeed? Well, we already covered the first two games in the series, starting of course with Donkey Kong Land 1, and the answer to the question, did they succeed, is they actually kind of botched it. The graphics were a little bit busy for the old monochrome Game Boy, and the controls were jank. Jank that you could get used to, but definitely jank. That said, I still enjoy the game, and I gotta give the games credit. They had some originality to them. It was an original adventure, even including some brand new locations, and also some pretty neat gimmicks. And by the way, Donkey Kong Land 1 happens to have my absolute favorite soundtrack on the original Game Boy. Then came Donkey Kong Land 2. With this game, Rare learned from their mistakes, and this game was a big improvement. The graphics were simplified so that things did not get lost on screen so easily. The controls were great. They were not one-to-one with the Super Nintendo game, but I felt in total control the entire time. The downside with these games, Donkey Kong Land 2, is it was basically a port of Donkey Kong Country 2. I mean, the levels were redesigned, so I think it was still kind of worth playing, but anybody looking for a new adventure, this was not it. Also, the music was kind of hit and miss. Some of it was good, some of it, eh. So, here we are with Donkey Kong Land 3. Now, you can already see for yourself how this is like. It's basically got the same engine as Donkey Kong Land 2. In fact, this might as well be called Donkey Kong Land 2 2. You can see it here on the Super Game Boy, and I did the first two games on the Super Game Boy, so it would make sense to also play this on the Super Game Boy, but with how similar this game is to Donkey Kong Land 2, it would be kind of like comparing apples and slightly different apples. So, how about we mix things up a bit? How about we take a look at how this game released in Japan? Because you see, in Japan, they got this game a few years later than the rest of us. By that point, the Game Boy Color had released. So, this game, for the Game Boy Color, and interestingly, in Japan, this was not called Donkey Kong Land 3, it was called Donkey Kong GB, Dinky Kong, and Dixie Kong. Apparently in Japan, Kiddy Kong is called Dinky Kong. Also in Japan, Kiddy Kong got top billing. I'm sure some folks watching are a big fan of that. Now, of course, this being a Japan-exclusive version of the game is all in Japanese, and I'd rather not play this in Japanese, I'd rather play this in English, so I'm actually going to load up a translation patch for the game. This translation patch was done by somebody whose name I didn't get a chance to write down. I'll tell you all later. For now, let's go ahead and start things up here. I'll go ahead and do this file here. Clear the game by pressing select, press start to confirm, and let's get right into it. Starting off here on the overworld, heading into the first area, Cape Codswallop. The first area has multiple levels. First level, Red Dwarf. And we're starting off with Dixie Kong. This game has starring Dixie Kong and Dinky Kong, if you want to call him that. Otherwise, Kitty Kong. This big baby character who is, I'm pretty sure, as big as Donkey Kong. Let's just switch back to Dixie Kong for a moment. I don't actually mind Kitty Kong. I don't hate him, at the very least. A lot of people hate him because, well, he's a baby. But I don't hate him. He's fine. However, I definitely like Dixie Kong better. Now, as for how the game controls, that was a sticking point in Donkey Kong Land 1. As I said, they fixed that in Donkey Kong Land 2. And this game has the exact same controls as Donkey Kong Land 2, I am happy to report. It feels pretty good. As I said, I am in complete control of myself. Now, speaking of Donkey Kong Land 2, there was that one downside with Donkey Kong Land 2 where it was basically a port of Donkey Kong Country 2. I am happy to report that this game is not a port of Donkey Kong Country 3. This is an original adventure. Not quite as original as Donkey Kong Land 1. There's no new set pieces. It's basically all Donkey Kong Country 3 assets. But there are new locations that we'll be visiting, and a different story. The story of Donkey Kong Country 3 was basically Donkey Kong and Diddy has gone missing, so Dixie Kong went to go look for him. The story of this game, on the other hand, as we head into Seabed Shanty, is that there is a contest going on to find the fabled Lost World. Donkey Kong and Diddy have gone searching off for it, leaving behind Dixie to babysit Kitty. But then Dixie is all, you know what? Screw it. We're just as capable as them. We're going to hunt for the Lost World as well. Meanwhile, it seems that the Kremlings are also on the hunt for the Lost World, possibly to steal its treasures. Anyway, much like with Donkey Kong Land 2, you do not ride your animal buddies in this game, but you turn into them. We are literally turned into a swordfish, having these fish scales and that tail fin, that pointy nose, that's gotta be fun to have, and breathing in water. Although, you don't have to worry about breath in this game, so probably monkeys in this world can also breathe underwater. Either that or they're really, really good at holding their breath. Let's see, is there a bonus barrel around here, or is this just for goodies? I am, of course, going to try to go for 100%. That was just for goodies. And we're not a fish anymore. I have a guide on hand in case I need to look it up to find any missed secrets, but I'm gonna try to find everything I can on my own. Oh! And, I was a little bit busy with my introduction, so I forgot to say it. Thank you for the resub, Warioland. That is awesome of you. I don't know if Twitch alerts are working right now or not. I'm using a different streaming program. Whereas I have been using XSplit, I have moved on to Streamlabs, hoping that this works a little bit better. Because XSplit has a little bit of a hiccuping issue, whereas Streamlabs does not. And I think I had the alert set up in Streamlabs, but after all this shuffling around trying to get this stream set up, I might have disabled it or something. It should be working, but we'll see. I'll have to test it out later on. Dixie, where's your shirt? I mean, you go around without pants anyway, so it's not like you need to wear clothes. But, you definitely look weird without your shirt. Oh, right. I should pay attention to what I'm doing. Bashing baddies, which I have promptly failed. Whaleland's trying bits. I don't know if the alert came through, but, thank you for the bits. Yeah, I'll have to fix that in between streams. I'm glad that this game allows me to retry bonus barrel challenges. I was kind of curious whether on guard, the swordfish automatically attacked enemies like he does in other games. Nope, apparently not. Weird. Oh well, we were at the end of the swordfish segment anyway. Ooh boy. Ooh boy. Well, considering Kitty's size, I'm glad he has a forgiving hitbox there. Also interesting that we already have a water level. Only the second level of the game. Oh, and we're back to being a fish. I'm fine with that. Now, these enemies, by the way, are tricky to deal with. You have to bash them whenever they're open. If you mistime it, you'll take damage. Like so. So, I'm just gonna ignore them until I have to attack them. Because eventually, I am gonna have to attack them. I think down is for progression. Water levels in this game are big, by the way. Expect these to take longer than any other level. Of course, alongside the bonus coins and the bonus levels, there's also a DK coin hidden in each level to grab. More on those in a bit. Speaking of how things play out, anybody who's played Donkey Kong Country 3 will tell you that that game is a little bit on the gimmicky side. Like, one level might have you dodging lightning, while another level you're turned into an elephant and have to avoid being scared by mice. I myself don't mind the gimmicks. They're kind of interesting, but I can see how they're an issue for some people. Well, for anybody who wants a more traditional Donkey Kong Country game, I can happily proclaim that's what this game is. This game is actually kind of basically Donkey Kong Land 2 2. It plays out basically the same way. You go level by level, collecting the coins, with only the most traditional of Donkey Kong Country obstacles. You know, shooting from barrels, the occasional minecart level, or in this game's case, bobsled levels, functionally works the same. Let's see here. I got an exclamation mark and a DK coin. That signifies that I have found all the bonus levels and beaten them, and found the DK coin in the level. And I have also done the same with Red Wharf. Wrinkly Refuge. Here, we meet up with Wrinkly Kong. She is, once again, going to be handling how we save our game in this game. And this time, saving is free. Thank you very much. Keep an eye out for those crumlings. Will do. Also, you can't tell on this screen... Hold on. You can't tell on this screen, but... Wrinkly Kong is totally playing the Nintendo 64. It's a lot easier to tell on the Super Nintendo version. Fort Knox. Okay, before we go into this level, I said that I was playing a translation patch, but the the person who made this patch... Hold on, I'm gonna look up the name real quick. I can do that, you know. Donkey Kong Land 3 translation patch. Done by Blaziken257. If I'm not mistaken, that's the same person who patched in the unused music in my playthrough of Donkey Kong Land 2. But anyway, the reason I wanted to bring that up is because there's an interesting quirk with the Japanese version of this game. You see how the world map is animated? We got flashing lights, the water wheel, and of course, water movement. Well, for some reason, in the Game Boy Color port of this game, specifically in Japan... Where is it? None of that stuff was animated. I don't know why it wasn't animated. Maybe they just didn't bother adding color to the animations, or maybe they broke it. But Blaziken has taken the time to not only translate this game, but also put back in the animations, which is nice. Maddie says, "Oh hey, Wrinkly Kong. Last time we see her before she's visiting us posthumously." Is it posthumously or posthumously? Either way, yeah, she's dead in the next game. Anyway, we got another stilts level. And the level wants us to go down there. Sure, why not? Interesting thing about this Game Boy Color version, the water is two-tone. It's lighter on the surface of the water. Playing this on the original Game Boy or the Super Game Boy, though, it's all one solid color. Oh, an extra arrow there to let players know there's a way to turn into a fish again. Personally, I kinda like fish, so I am okay with turning into a fish more than once. Now, by going down here, we are skipping a large portion of the level. I'll show that off after we beat it the first time. By the way, I said that Donkey Kong Land 1 has my favorite soundtrack on the Game Boy. This game, not necessarily my favorite, but it's also really good. Like this song right here. A lot of the songs in this game, in fact, are really good, with a couple of exceptions, and I'll be pointing those out eventually. Okay, I could go to the right, or I could hop on down again, where there's a bonus barrel. Yeah, don't worry, Maddie. For a long time, I thought it was posthumously as well. Because a lot of times when I hear that word used, it's like kind of funny in hindsight. Like, it's kind of funny that Wrinkly Kong legit dies in these games. Not like it has a plot twist or anything. She just dies in the intermittent time in between games. By the way, for anybody familiar with Donkey Kong Country 3, you may be familiar that Diddy Kong has a special ability that allows him to bounce on water when he rolls off a ledge. He doesn't have that ability in this game, unfortunately. Not that that would necessarily be required for anything. It'd just be a neat way to skip around. Meanwhile, we have this character here. I didn't really mention him during our first encounter. His name is Coin. He holds the DK coin in most levels. To beat him, you basically just want to stand on him, toss a barrel to the side, and let it bounce into him. Oh, I missed a couple things there. Coin is also in Donkey Kong Country 3. I haven't played that game much, so I can't say whether he's easy or difficult to deal with in that game, but he's certainly easy to deal with in this game. Stand on him, toss the barrel. Every time. Maddie says, okay, but Coin is probably the cutest Kremling, at least in my opinion. I need to totally look him up. Donkey Kong Country 3 Coin. Also known as Commandeer Coin. Copy image. Paste it in Paint. And let me see if I can screen share that real quick. Window capture. There he is. Okay. Let's see here. Gotta love doing this stuff live, by the way. There he goes. That's better. So, cute, huh? Well, he does wear that bucket well, I will say. Maddie says, he definitely looks different in the sprites. Yeah, that can definitely make a difference. Total recoil. Okay, speaking of music, let me go ahead and save again here. Because this game has an interesting quirk when in regards to the music. I'm gonna go into this level here and listen to how the song in this level starts. It's basically starting off already in full gear. However, here's the thing about this song. It skipped the opening of the song. You see, in Donkey Kong Country 3, whenever you exit a bonus stage, and I think also when you resume at a checkpoint, instead of starting the level song over again, it starts in the middle of the song. This game attempts to do that, except, well, it skips to the middle of the song almost every time, even whenever you restart a level. The only time you get to hear the opening of a song is whenever you start a fresh gameplay session. So now, having reset the game, here's the opening of the song, having refreshed the game. And there we go. I actually can't think that is kind of annoying. So oftentimes when I play this game and I come across a new level, I'll save first and then reload the game just so I can hear the beginning of the song. I think my life counter reset set as a result, but oh well. What an oddly colored platform. You kind of noticed that as we played through the Game Boy Color version, they had some weird choices for colors of levels. I just remembered something. Hold on a sec. If I can reach it, there's an invisible barrel up here. If I could time my twirl. Why am I not timing my twirl? Is it because I'm hitting my head? Am I not able to twirl in the ceiling? There we go. No, I guess it's not right here. Never mind then. Oh wait, there it was! So, the first world in this game, every level has a warp that takes you to the end of the level. I kind of forgot to look those up. Let me look those up. It's not too difficult to get to those. Donkey Kong Land. It helps if I stop typoing. Let me go ahead and show you all where the warps are in these levels. Starting with the first level. Head back to Red Wharf, where, thinking on it, I actually missed a secret that's right near the start of the level. It's not a warp, but it's an extra life and a bear coin. More on those in a bit. As for the warp, it is up here, I believe. Let me double check that. No, a little further. Right above this. And this takes you right to the end of the level. If anybody wants any speedrunning tactics, now you know where that one is. Then in Seedbed Shanty, the warps aren't necessarily all close to the start of the level. You have to go a bit of a ways in, but you still skip quite a bit of the level. Let us hope I don't get hit again, because I'd rather not lose my time or waste time. It's right there. Let's try that again, but better. Dang it! Okay, let me stick around here and see if there's a special timing. Ah, heck. Let's save time, and I'm gonna save state. There it is! Didn't need to save state. We could have come in here with On Guard, though, and then we would have lost On Guard. And then in Fort Knox, that warp barrel is actually hidden pretty well. Come to think of it, I didn't finish going through the top half of this level, showing what that is like. So as long as we're here, I'll go ahead and do that. As I said, this game controls great. Is this where the warp is? No, I passed it up. Well, I'll create a save state here and return to this spot as soon as I show where the warp is, because I do want to show the rest of the upper half of the level. And there's the warp right there. It was under where those rats were. And then load back over here. So what is the rest of this level like? There's a thing up there. Dropping down here, there's a one up. I don't know that I'm getting back up there. Now I'm gonna say no. So I'm curious where that barrel leads to. I need to pay more attention to whether I have these levels completed or not. I find it funny that those birds are basically being deflated whenever I bash them. Alright, what does more of this level look like? we got bees. And not quite the same bees as the previous games. We got saw blade bees. I think those are exhaust pipes right there. Mechanical bees. And then I also dropped down there for a bonus barrel, and I think that just popped me back right up here. So, actually, I can't remember. I think I went down below again, actually. So let's continue up here and see what's up here. Yeah, I did drop down below again. And we have come full circle, because there's that coin I got, and up here was the end of the level. And now, we are ready to move on into Total Recoil. For real this time. Right? Let me double check here. Yep, that level's complete. Moving on. So by the way, alongside dropping gimmicks, this game also drops a few other things that were introduced in Donkey Kong Country 3. Donkey Kong Country 3 had a free roaming world map. This didn't do much initially, but eventually you would be able to choose which world to visit first. There was an option that opened up at some point later on in the game. It also allowed you to explore to find secrets, because Donkey Kong Country 3 had a subquest involving the collection of banana birds. Yes, birds that were basically bananas. Their heads were sticking out of what is essentially the banana peel. The banana birds are completely absent from this game, as is the free roaming world map. Like I said, this game is basically structured like Donkey Kong Land 2, and by extension, Donkey Kong Country 2. Again, if you wanted a more traditional Donkey Kong Country game on the Game Boy than Donkey Kong Country 3, this game is it. Oh yeah, I was about to talk about strange colorizations earlier. Well, now's a good opportunity. These rats are purple. I'm pretty sure that they were not purple in Donkey Kong Country 3. Likewise, Dixie and Kitty are orange. They don't have any distinct colorizations, like Dixie's pink outfit or Kitty's blue outfit, such as right here. And let me pause the emulator real quick, because perhaps you might be able to see why. This game, as I said, originally released for the original Game Boy. Super Game Boy aside, it was a black and white game. It was not designed with colors in mind. So adding colors to this version of the game was kind of hit and miss, and you can see that right here. They had to add color to tiles that originally were designed with no colors in mind, so you have some weird situations like that if you wanted to color him appropriately, which is probably why they didn't bother coloring his outfit up here blue. And likewise, in that one screen, Dixie is not wearing a shirt. You'll see some more weird colorizations as the game goes on here and there. I jump through that banana? Ah! You know, I was specifically looking for one of you guys, because I wanted to show envy at your ability to spring on your tail. You know what? Screw you. If I can't have a tail to bounce on, you're not bouncing either. And that is total recoil complete. Onward to Sheepy Shop. Whoa, your pockets are bulging. Want to play cards? So, the bear characters. In Donkey Kong Country 3, there was a family of bears that... I can't remember specifically how they work, but part of them was involved in, like, a trading quest, I'm pretty sure. They all had different outfits and stuff. Each bear in each world was distinct from one another. This game has a bear. He doesn't have a name, and he's in every world. However, he does still have a function in this game. And because I don't have very many coins, I'm going to save state. As he said, he gives the option of playing a card game. A matching game. So, I need to focus for a moment as I try to figure this out. There is a timer down at the bottom, slowly ticking away. I'm not doing great at this. That was the other banana. This minigame, by the way, is not in... Oi. This minigame, by the way, is not in Donkey Kong Country 3. Great going! Let's see what I can wrestle up for you. A coin, DK coin, a stopwatch, and it only took you 60 seconds! Okay, actually, I don't think it cost me any money to play that minigame. The stopwatch, though. So you might have noticed during the opening of the game, the Super Game Boy border was a bunch of clocks. There is a bit of a time motif with this game. It comes into play mostly later, although it is a race to see who can find the Lost World first. But more on that later. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go back in here. Okay, it does cost coins. Free on the first attempt. But I want to try to do this faster. So, load state and try this again. I didn't mean to hit that one. Where was the other bananas? I lost track already. I want to try to do this in less than 30 seconds. And I think I've already gone past 30 seconds. And yeah, it's very much random each time. There's the elephant, there's a balloon, there's spider, fish. This is not starting out great. That was not the balloon. Coin. I would not mind some of these being next to each other. Where was the DK coin? Right there. The spider. Squitter was up here. No. Squitter was... lost track. Well, I'm definitely not finishing this attempt in 30 seconds. It is not required to do this in 30 seconds, but there is something you get for it. Ah, that was not the coin. I lost track of the coin. Not that coin. Okay, starting over again. I need to focus here. Balloon, banana, Dixie, coin, squitter, squawks, you, DK. There's that one. There's you. There's Dixie, who was right there. Elephant. Bananas was just this one right here. You were like right here? No. Where were you? Crap. Lost track of you. There you were. And also elephant. Squitter. No. Yes. I don't think I did that in 30 seconds. I did it faster. 49 seconds. Oh, gosh. I might have to cheat at this. I'd rather not. See, I already lost track of where the parrot was. Oh, that's a lucky pairing right there. I'm gonna partly blame my inability to do this on... It's kind of hot. It is humid. I am uncomfortable. And also pressured. I am pressured to do this well because I am streaming. And I am failing repeatedly. Which means that this is taking more time. So I'm a little bit stressed out. I need to do this right. And I wasn't even paying attention to which ones those were. Kitty, fish, balloon, coin, spinning coin, squitter, banana, balloon, DK, elephant, kitty, haven't found you. Did we find the banana already? I can't remember. Squawks, Dixie, you were right there. Fish was right there. Squitter was... No, that was the coin. Elephant, no. Alright, I don't think I was in 30 seconds, but that was better. "46 seconds? Holy heck, I thought I did better than that at the least. Banana, elephant, squawks, spider, kitty, coin, Dixie, fish, other coin. Oop, didn't mean to select that one. Scroll over, please. And I was choosing the wrong one. I lost track of the spider. Gosh dang it. The spider was down there. I might have to move on here. Yeah, let me do this one more time simply because I did have to reload state just to be able to try this again. I need to earn my rewards again at the very least. So, banana, balloon, coin, kitty, fish, kitty, DK, banana, DK, squitter, fish. Where was the fish? Fish was there. Dixie, elephant, balloon, squitter, squawks. There was you. There was that. Which one was squawks? That one. Elephant. That was not even close to 30 seconds, but I'll have to take it. We need to move on. "45 seconds. So, should I just mission it? I mean, after spending all that time trying to get it, I might as well let you all know what it is. Basically, if you can do this in less than 30 seconds, the bear will give you a secret code that if you put it in on the title screen, you can play that matching game on the title screen. Yeah, that's all the reward is. And if you already know the code, you don't have to try to win it. Anyway, Sheepy Shop complete, code aside. Let's head into Coco Channel. And speaking of good music, let's go ahead and do that thing that I said before. I'm gonna save, I'm gonna reload so we can hear the start of the next song. Because the next level also has a pretty good song. Okay, there's a secret somewhere up here. Was it to the right or to the left? To the right. This is where coin is hidden. And then if I drop down, I'm back into the main part of the level. Let's go ahead and see what I skipped over though. Ooh, for a moment there I thought those were spikes. Nope, it's safe. No spikes. I can't remember if this game actually does have spikes anywhere. And this is where we would have dropped down. Oh, a sec. There's a thing up there too. I saw bananas up there. Am I gonna get Squitter here? Am I gonna have the opportunity to go up and find a secret? Well, there's a secret one up right there. For what's that worth? I think I missed a secret. I'm gonna go back for it. One thing I find interesting about this game, by the way, it kind of has different enemies than the previous two entries in the series. Like, instead of regular fish, we got clownfish. Look at that nose. It's literally a clownfish. Oh, I defeated the enemy already, so I can't get back up there unless I restart the level. Oh well, I can come back for it. hang on it, I commented earlier how we already have a bunch of swimming in this game. Didn't take that long to reach swimming levels in Donkey Kong Land, or the previous games either. Well, Donkey Kong Land 1, not until the second world, but Donkey Kong Country, it was like the 4th or 5th level that you swam in. I saw that bonus barrel. And then Donkey Kong Country 2 and Land 2, it was, again, like the 4th level that you swam in. Rare was confident that their swimming levels didn't suck. And for the most part, they were right. They have some good swimming levels. Oh my goodness! Get up there! Yeesh. Alright, let's find that token and not screw this up. There was probably some enemies in the water. Yeah, there's enemies down there. Oh good, even if I did fail, I would have started right up here. I appreciate that game. This sign above me is a no animal buddy sign. That means I absolutely did miss an animal buddy somewhere. I did not want to jump back into that. Oh, because there's an animal buddy right here. Because if you die, this way you're not still an animal buddy. Alright, well now I'm curious. What did the game expect me to do if I went through this as unguard? Alright, you could have gone under the level, so those springy guys wouldn't have even been a concern. Then we reach this point, which would have been the end of the minigame. Huh. And now we know. And knowing is the end of that challenge. Okay, yeah, there is an animal buddy in this level. We have the return of Squitter the Spider. Of course, that's not a real surprise. We saw him in the card game. Let me save state real quick, just for experimenting. I'm pretty sure he still can't swim. Yep. In fact, he sinks like a rock. So you'd be very much screwed if you fall in the water. That said, his controls are just as awkward as they were in Donkey Kong Land 2. Y to shoot, you can aim up and down, and you press select to spread out a web. So if I were trying to shoot a web up to create a platform, I hold up, press shoot, and quickly move my thumb over to press select. It is definitely awkward, and I'm not entirely sure how I avoided taking damage there. Did I, like, shoot my web right in the enemy's face? Or does Spider beat Bug automatically? Oh, here's more of what I was talking about earlier, about how the tiling was not made for Game Boy Color specifically. It's not too distracting, though, I don't think. Ooh, secret. Gimme, gimme. Is it bonus barrel? It's a bonus barrel. Wait, and it goes further. What's further? A 1-up and a coin. Well, I might need that 1-up. Tell you what, I think this game is actually, in some areas, a little bit more graphically detailed than Donkey Kong Land 2. Well, I definitely needed that life. I mean, coloring aside, this is a detailed background here. For the most part, though, it doesn't get as detailed as in Donkey Kong Land 1, so generally not going to have much trouble seeing where you're going in this game if you were playing on the old Game Boy. I could have got the N again somewhere. Oh well. Alright, that's that level complete. You'll notice that I did not go back into that bonus barrel after I died. That's because once you acquire the bonus coin in the bonus barrel, it counts towards completion, regardless of whether you finish the level or not, even before beating the level for the first time. That is really player-friendly. Okay, lift shaft lottery. I have no idea why this level is called a lottery. I just remembered I was searching for warp barrels earlier. I'll have to return to those earlier levels just to show where those warp barrels are. There's plenty to keep track of whenever you're starting a new player. So much to talk about. And I'm glad that this game is giving plenty to talk about. It's a good game. Oh, that's where that warp barrel was. See, I knew in one of these mill levels there was a warp barrel near an inflatable bird. Apparently it was this level. Well, while we're on the subject of finding warp barrels, let's see. In Total Recoil, I already found that warp barrel. Coco Channel, where is the warp barrel in there? Oh, well, first things first, there were those bananas up in the middle of the air that I was questioning earlier. They were just a down arrow, letting me know to go down. But as for the warp barrel in this level, it's right there. And that is how you skip through this level. And yep, that's all the warp barrels up to this point. I could move on if I wanted to, since I did technically beat that level. And in fact, coming up is the first boss of the game. But no. As I said, going for 100%. It occurs to me, I have not been making very much use of Dixie Kong. And why would I? Dixie can fly. Well, hover anyway. It's a pretty handy ability to have. I would have to imagine twirling around like that takes a lot of practice. Not just gaining speed and also managing to slow your momentum falling, but just in general, trying to figure out where you're going, because you're twirling around and that would be dizzying and hard to keep track of where you're going. But hey, it's Dixie's specialty. She's a pro. Oh my goodness. That timing was a little awkward. Secret here? I feel like secret here. Or secret to the left. This is the harder place to reach. I'm assuming secret right here. I was correct in secret here. Stars. Where's the stars? Okay. Oop. I mentioned this in my Donkey Kong Land 2 playthrough, but I kinda miss bonus rooms that were basically just that. Bonuses. Like in Donkey Kong Country 1 and Land 1. Oh crap, where's the coin at? Did I pass through it? Did it spawn on top of me and its hitbox not trigger on time? That seems like what it happened. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do enjoy these minigame challenges as well. But sometimes it's nice to find just a bonus room where you can get like an extra life or extra bananas. And for that, I definitely appreciate the warp barrels. A shame that the warp barrels are only in the first world of this game. Yep, sure enough. That's where it was. Oh, again I passed through a banana. How does that happen? Porcupines! Oh my goodness. These guys. They are cute. I'm gonna look them up as well. Donkey Kong Country 3 porcupines. They're called Spinies. They're Once again, I think Are we sure this is it? No, those are the Spinies that are in Donkey Kong Country 2. Give me the ones that are in Donkey Kong Country 3. Bristles. That's what I was looking for. Window capture. Kind of cute rolled up like that. I imagine that those bristles are very, very pokey, much like a porcupine. In this case, they're hedgehogs, I assume. How bristly are hedgehogs, actually? Because people have pet hedgehogs, so I can't imagine that they're that spiny. Maybe I actually would be able to hug one of these guys. Well, not in this game. In this game, they are all too eager to kill me. They are very dangerous hedgehogs. Still though, I definitely like their sprites in this game. Especially the chosen coloring. That is one case of the coloring being a good choice. Oh boy. Hello, you. So this was kind of an enemy that was in Donkey Kong Land 2 and Country 2. A little bit different. this version of that enemy is a bit more goofy. I mean, look at that wavy arm, and also the face painted on the barrel. Donkey Kong Country 2 was overall a more cartoony game. Let me try that again. Donkey Kong Country 3 was overall a more cartoony game compared to Donkey Kong Country 2. And I think that's another reason why some people don't like it as much as Donkey Kong Country 2. I didn't mind it though. Certainly helps gives this game and its console counterpart their own identities. Oh, found coin. Oh, I'm curious about something. Let's try that again. In Donkey Kong Land 1, and to a lesser extent Donkey Kong Land 2, it was possible to outfall the screen, and once you fall below the screen, it counts as a bottomless pit. This is a pretty big drop right here. Does this have the same issue? Hard to say. That was surprisingly not a long enough drop. Maybe that's an improvement. Maybe they did that on purpose, have the screen catch up more, so you're not likely to die from outfalling the screen. In which case, good for them, because that's dumb. I will say it was an extremely rare situation in Donkey Kong Land 2. I can only think of one level that actually happened. But still kind of dumb. Kind of figured there'd be a secret up there. Oh, I want to try bouncing on these things. Maybe. Oh boy. That is a close shave. Get it? Because it's a buzzsaw bee. Oh, and here's the end of the level. And that is that level complete. So all that's left to do here in World 1 is to take care of the first boss. And we get to do it as on guard, even. So, Barbos. He spits out a little mollusk? I can't quite remember what those things are called, but basically, he does that, bounce them back, and oh, forgot that he did that. And while I proceed with this fight, I want to talk about the song that is playing. This song is the final boss theme from Donkey Kong Country 2, or 3, Donkey Kong Country 3. It is interesting that they chose to have this song for regular bosses. Basically, what's going on is this game only has one boss theme in the entire game. And that was kind of the case also in Donkey Kong Land 1 and 2. They also only had one boss theme. However, in the case of those two games, there was a second boss theme programmed into the games, they just went unused. And when I played Donkey Kong Land 1, I used a cheat code in order to get the other boss theme playing, and Donkey Kong Land 2, Blaziken once again did a hack that enabled the other boss theme to play in that game. However, that's not going to be the case in this game, because I guess since Rare only used one boss song in the first two games, I didn't even bother programming in a second boss song for this game. This is the only boss song programmed in, so there is no other song to hack in. It's kind of a bummer. That means the final boss is also going to use this song. And when a final boss uses the same song as other bosses, makes things a little less exciting. Jerk! Gotta love those desperation attacks. Anyway, that is the end of the first area of the game. We are done with Cape Codswallop 100%. We're going to be moving on to Primate Plains, and we're going to go ahead and do that after this break. And I didn't have time to finish setting up the Endslate. I don't even have a timer ready. Trust me, we're on break. I'm going to see if I can figure out where the timer was.